Okay, Nora, there we go. What constitutes a perfect Valentine's Day for you?
So I probably would answer that question in two phases. So the first phase would be when I was single, and the second phase would be I was married. The first phase, when I was single, it was a lot of romantic and flowers and balloons and chocolate and all that. And the second phase is the same because I'm lucky enough to have a husband that's very, he really likes to give, what do you call them? These kind of things. Like right now, he just brought the flowers. I don't know if you can see.
Hopeless romantic.
Exactly. So because of the glare. So he brought me the balloons and the flowers and everything. So I'm very thankful of that, he is in my life. And similarly, I have given him certain like chocolate or a gift or anything like that. So, but there's also another part of it, and that is the spirituality aspect of it in my case, uh, because we're both of us are believe in God and we're thankful to God to have met each other. And then it's also not just about the materialism, about just getting the flowers and the balloons and all that. It's also about being in each other's lives um, and having a Valentine's every day. So it's not just on the 14th of February, it's every day. I might not get the flowers or the balloons on any other day, but I do get the the spirituality of our relationship. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a natural for Jeff. It's a tango.
Jeff, you're voluntold. Okay, here we go. What is your worst Valentine's experience? What is your worst Valentine's Day experience?
I'd like to thank Zach for making today my worst Valentine's Day. Having to answer a question. Madam, thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. There are no bad Valentine's Day. How can you be upset about a day where people appreciate other people, share things with other people, look forward to spending time with other people, tell them you miss them? So Valentine's Day cannot be a bad day. It's only a bad day if you make it a bad day. Zach. So whether you're with your family, with your partner, by yourself, it doesn't mean you still can't enjoy Valentine's Day. There's still people who enjoy you and your company and are always happy to hear from you, and you're always happy to hear from them. So with that, I'm going to keep my answer brief and return it to you, and look forward to hearing Zach's next answer as the next volunteer.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. There we go, Zach. Here is your Valentine's card. Roses are red, violets are blue. How can you prove your true love is true?
A little limerick or poem or whatever you call it presents a specific problem with me. Guess what my ex's name is?
Violet.
So I have no idea how to determine whether true love is true or not. Because having been divorced, there is no real way of saying, hey, this thing lasts forever. So I will defer to the more romantic of us to wax eloquent about the longevity of true love. So I will turn it over back to you, Matt.
Okay, Janessa, here we go. Money can't buy you love. with little money involved, how would you show someone, either a friend, a partner, that you love them?
Oh, this is awesome. Great question, because you get to be kind of savvy and creative. So I would love to just show my love or appreciation to my partner or a friend by basically just doing creative love letters or just a letter about how much they mean to me, how much like I'm grateful for them. I think a simple letter to pen, to paper and just writing out how you feel and how much you appreciate them is enough already because it forces them to sit and read and not be interrupted by someone expressing love to them or how much their life has impacted me. And that's a way of kind of like just fully getting the emotion of being appreciated in life, I think is huge. And even just arts and crafts by cutting out a little heart for them, a paper, maybe crappy, but it's still, a gift in time. They can keep it or they can always toss it, no hard feelings, but that's just a small way of me showing love. And maybe something, I would actually spice it up and give them a little bag of hot Cheetos because we get chocolates all the time. Hot Cheetos are great. I don't know about you, but I'm from the Bay Area and I love spicy, hot Cheetos, and that's a shareable gift. So that's great. And then you get to like lick your fingers after, it's a whole process. So I would love that. I think that's a great way to kind of share love on a budget. Back to you, Miss Toastmaster.
Who would like to receive this card? Who hasn't spoken? Okay, Sharay. There we go. Mirror, mirror on the wall. What's the best pickup line you've
Ooh.
heard before? Do tell us all.
Thank you, Mrs. Toastmaster. Funny enough, I'm not really romantic. Like, it would be interesting to casually meet somebody in person, but I'm from the generation where we go on Tinder or something to meet people. So there was one time where I was on a date with the girl I met from the Bumble app. We went to, I believe, Applebee's, if I remember, and it was a casual. They had really good food. That's one of the things I remember the most. And on that date, I got to learn more about the person. Because when you meet someone online, you see their profile, but it's different from meeting them in person. So they were really nice and they were pretty cool too. They didn't really have any capricious mind or behavior. And the pickup line that really got me in was, uh, "Did you fall from heaven?" And then I forget the rest of the line actually. But it was a really fun experience, and it made me appreciate hanging out with people more, I guess. But I'm still not quite romantic. And that's it for me. I'm gonna keep it short too.
Thank you so much, Sharay.
Actually, Sharay, the line is usually, "Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?"
Yeah, that's the
Oh, I
one.
think that was the one. I think that was it too.
An
That
expert
was a
in
good pickup
lines.
line. Right?
Jeff, knowing all the lines.
It's not me, it's the Argentines.
Here you go, Nancy. Is it better to have loved and lost or to never have loved at all? Is it better to have loved and lost or to have never loved at all? Nancy, take it away.
Thank you for this question. I believe this is actually a quote from a poem, or it just sounds like a poem because I think I've heard it before. But I think that one thing I will say is that it's always better to have loved. And I don't think you get hurt from just loving. Often it's the unrequited love that is painful, but still, loving in itself isn't a bad thing. And I think you can all imagine and remember the first time that you had butterflies in your stomach, the first time that someone returned the look and you thought, oh, they looked at me. It didn't feel bad, did it? It actually felt good. And maybe you finally spoke, and maybe there was some excitement about getting to know each other. Do you remember wanting to get to know someone a little better? Or maybe wanting them to get to know you a little better? I think we all remember that. And that doesn't hurt. It actually feels good because you learn more about yourself and you put your best self forward. So it helps you to be your best self in a way. But I think ultimately, you lose nothing from what you've given because you've gotten more than you expected to receive. And even if it doesn't work out in the end, it doesn't mean you have to live in that sorrow, but live with the excitement of loving again. We'll have many opportunities to love, not just a significant other, not just our kids, not just our neighbors, and not just our friends. We get to love them all at different times in our lives. We'll love some more than others, some less. But the memories that you keep from when that felt so good will never end. That's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Table Topics Master Linda.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for that. Okay, it says, what is the most or least romantic gift you have ever received? What is the most romantic or least romantic gift I've ever received? One of my most romantic gifts I received, it is on Mother's Day. That was several years ago. My son had made a special brunch for me, and I still remember it to this day. It is a souffle omelet made into the shape of a heart. It was delicious. It was light, fluffy, and it also had a fruit cup, beautiful strawberries, blueberries. The color was wonderful, and it had a few slices of bacon and sausage. I forgot what the meat portion was, but it was very touching for me because my son learned how to make that, and it was delicious. It was at home, it was quiet. I enjoyed it with my family. I enjoyed it with my husband. And that was the one and only time he made me that French omelet. I hope that I will get it back this year again. Maybe I'll give him some hints. But since then, he has made other kinds of food that for me to enjoy on other days of the year. So I am very grateful for that. I'm glad that he has learned to love and experiment with food. He has become quite a good cook. And I think his girlfriend is very lucky and hope that she one day becomes part of the family as well. Thank you. Any volunteers? Okay, Janessa. There we go. The age-old question, is love blind? Is that a good or bad thing?
Is that a good or bad thing? You know, that's a tough one, but I do think love is blind because a lot of times we unconsciously tend to judge a book by its cover. But the more you get to know someone, it's more exciting because you get to see how wonderful they are and their story of life and what they've been through. And you kind of can see how you can connect and you find ways of just building this friendship that can blossom into love, into something more, which is wonderful. Or sometimes even opposites attract, which is exciting too, because sometimes that balances you out, whether you're a very energetic person and then your partner is calm and collective and that just anchors you. That is such a great combination. And a lot of times we kind of just go through life just dealing with our own troubles and thinking what we need to do next. And sometimes we don't even look at the person next to us on the bus, but little do we know that that could be our soulmates or our friendship for life. And that would be so exciting. And a lot of times I think we just need to stop and just have a conversation and ask silly questions because that breaks down barriers and that would lead us into the next step of a journey that we will never forget. So I do think love is blind, but I think there's an opportunity to see things that are much deeper. So thank you. Thank you, Table Topics, for that one.